Hi guys, how's it going? Miller here. Hope you're all well. This is my new infantry command stand for my English Civil War. This is Major General Lawrence Crawford. He was the commander of the Eastern Association during the First English Civil War, and was quite a big commander and fought in battles such as Marston Moor, where he was one of the only commanders, as well as Cromwell on the parliamentarian side, to still be fighting when half the army was running away, supported by the Covenanters. So I've got a bit of information on him here that I was going to quickly read, and I'm going to sound a bit of a hypocrite, really, because I don't normally like listening to people reading directly from a script, but because the information on him on the internet is so limited, trying to abbreviate it into smaller chunks or easier chunks, you're pretty much only going to have a couple of sentences. So I'll just quickly read you this, just for a bit of information. So Lawrence Crawford was born in Jordan Hill, Glasgow. He became a professional soldier at the age of 15, and he fought in the armies of Christine IV of Denmark, Gustav Adolphs of Sweden, and Charles Louis, the Elector Palatine. Excuse me. In 1641, he went to Ireland as a colonel of the infantry of the Marquis of Ormond in the Confederate Wars. When the cessation of 1643 was signed, Crawford angrily refused to take the oath of renouncing Presbyterianism, which Ormond imposed upon the Irish army. He also refused to be transferred to England to serve under King Charles I, regarding the Royalists as little better than Papists. Ormond had him arrested, but Crawford escaped to Scotland. From there he then went to England, where he persuaded Parliament to grant him a commission. In 1644, he was appointed Major General of Foot to Edward Montague, the Earl of Manchester, in the Eastern Association, which is obviously the army that I've based my English Civil War stuff on. Almost as soon as he was commissioned, Crawford quarrelled with a lieutenant general that went by the name of Oliver Cromwell, and they argued over his tolerations of independence and religious radicals amongst his officers and men. After the Battle of Marston Moor, Cromwell demanded that Crawford be dismissed from command. The Earl of Manchester called for a committee of both kingdoms, which was sort of an allied high command between the parliamentarians and the Covenanters from Scotland, demanded a committee of both kingdoms to mediate, but Cromwell himself withdrew the demand in the interest of military expedience. Crawford supported Manchester, or the Earl of Manchester, when Cromwell denounced his leadership before the House of Commons, which was pretty much where they called for the self-denying ordinance, which meant that any members of Parliament had the choice to either resign from being a member of Parliament or being a commander in the armies. It being that Parliament didn't have the best interests for the armies, whereas the officers were more pushing for the armies to make more actions. Obviously, the Earl of Manchester was criticised for not pushing where he could have. He missed opportunities to make decisive decisions in the war. So obviously they pushed for the self-denying ordinance, which then helped to create the new model army. So I'll carry on. Rather than serving the new model army, Crawford transferred to Parliament's Western Association army under the command of the fellow Presbyterian Edward Macy. He was killed in action at the siege of Hereford in August 1645 and buried in Gloucester Cathedral. He had a monument built, which was removed after the restoration. So yeah, that's literally, like I said, quite a limited amount of information on him on here, but I thought it was quite interesting. I think he's a brilliant general. Obviously, he managed to make a decisive victory at Marston Moor, and obviously a lot of the time it's mostly that Cromwell and Fairfax are kind of recognised as the commanders that won the Battle of Marston Moor, despite the fact that Fairfax's force had withdrawn, and he ended up kind of just having to tag along on the end. And obviously Cromwell's cavalry managed to hold and come back around for a couple more counter-attacks, which helped obviously break some of the Royalist line, along with the Confederate forces, the Covenant forces, and Lawrence Crawford's regiment of foot, which also held the line, helping to win the battle, which obviously was a major turning point in the First English Civil War, because it helped gain the North, which was a decisive loss for the Royalists. And it also led to the Newcastles, which were quite a well-known regiment, or the Lambs, being completely obliterated, and the Marquis of Newcastle going into exile and leaving. So yeah, that was just a quick bit of information on this. These are the Avanpost figures that I picked up from Mez's Miniatures. Really, really nice to paint. I've got the musketeers on the painting table at the moment as it is. Slowly getting away with getting through them. Thought I'd just quickly show you this. I've got one more thing I just want to quickly show you as well, which I've been working on. I had the challenge set for me a little while ago, and I've been putting off doing it, so I thought I'd quickly swing round and show you how I'm getting on with that. So bear with me a second. Okay guys, so this is the challenge that got set for me about probably over a month or so ago, by the guys over at Plastic Crack, or on Plastic Crack Podcast. They challenged me to build a star fort, by, I think it was before the kids went back to school from lockdown in England. They went back on the 8th of March, and today is the 21st. So I'm a bit late, and it's not even finished. But this is how much I got done so far. Obviously, I've just put the command that I've just shown you guys in the middle there, just as a bit of a scale representation. I'm kind of happy with it. I'm not too sure about the sticks that I've used for the paneling on the floors. I had meant to get some coffee stirrers at some point. I haven't got round to doing it. I have ordered them since to be able to do the walls, because on the walls I need to point this stick because it's very far away. Bear with me. This will do perfectly. On these bits here, on the defences, there's going to be panels going across, up a bit higher, with crenellations to allow for the cannons to stick out of them. So I'm hoping to do that, and if I don't like these sticks any further, I will change them for the coffee stirrers as well. It is in two parts. Bear with me. It does come apart just for ease of transportation. I had been talking with Martin, Seventh Son, and he suggested that I made some of the wall sections removable in case, you know, the walls got destroyed. But I was having a bit of trouble getting around to do it anyway, so trying to make it a bit harder and a bit more complicated, I couldn't manage that as well. But yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with it. Let me know what you guys think to it, and if you have any ideas or anything you think I should do differently with it, just let us know. Leave a comment in the below. Other than that, I'm going to try and get some more English Civil War stuff done as soon as I can. I've got to try and fix those iron sides that I started doing before with the contrast. I've got to somehow try and fix them. But other than that, please leave a like and a comment, and bye for now.